Hi guys, it's Shauna here.
Scott here.
Dan's road tripping.
Dan's road tripping.
We're on. It's really early and it's freezing out today, you guys. So we are on our way to Yuma to go do laundry because I don't want to deal with court site. And we got to pick up some prescriptions, and we're gonna have a chat all the way to Yuma. So let's go. Okay. We talked about how we ended up living in an RV because it was not by choice, you guys, at first. No way did we ever think that we would live in an RV full time. So
I did. That was always my dream. But
yeah. I never thought about it. I knew I wanted to travel, but I never thought about it. So, and there's a really crazy story behind me and Scott's story. And how it all became. So I'm going to start a little bit. I'm not going to put everything out there, but I'm definitely going to share how it all became, because a lot of people plan to live in an RV and we did not. So when me and Scott met, it'll be, it's 9 years already. And we were friends way before we met.
Way before we started dating.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like 6 months. And at the time, you guys, I was going through a hard time in my life. So I had just gotten done, I was diagnosed with the breast cancer in 2015, and then I went through the radiation and did all of that, and at the same time I just wasn't feeling good. I couldn't explain what was going on in my face, in my head. So long story short, we finally I have an incurable bone disease on the left side of my face in 4 bones: the zygote bone, the mandible bone, the palate, and there's one more, temporal bone. Yeah, so it grows really slow right here, and in some videos you guys will see that my eye is starting to close a little bit. It doesn't open as much as this one. It's because the bone up here is growing and pushing it. It feels like down. I haven't had a scan since my surgery in 2018 because I just don't really care to know what's going on until it really, really affects me. So it's just growing really slow. But so I was diagnosed with all that. By the time, it was so much. I was working part-time as a paraeducator for the school district, and I was struggling getting off work. My brain felt so dizzy. The symptoms were crazy, and people around me didn't seem to understand how bad I was. The vertigo, I was getting dizzy, and by the time I got off work at noon, you guys, I just drive home crying. A lot of people didn't know that I was crying. I hid it. I went to the emergency room several times telling them that I had a toothbrush going off in my head and vibrating constantly. And I just felt like I was going crazy. I just couldn't, and my life was going crazy. I had some events that had happened that just, everything just came into a big giant tornado. So I didn't want to live no more. And I attempted suicide. You guys, I just want to add something too about me attempting suicide. If you need help, reach out. I didn't know. I just thought things were never going to get better at the time. That's how sick I was. And a lot of people can't comprehend how you become to think like that. I mean, the radiation, I was exhausted. And the bone disease, you guys, I was literally not getting any help, and no one was listening.
You guys, she was very, very, very sick.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even tell you how bad it was because only a few people saw me like that. My youngest son, Jaden, when I had him in the van with me and Scott had a little van at the time, and I literally was crying sitting in the back of the van. Just the movement made me sick. That's how bad I was. Gone to the ER several times being told I was just having headaches, and my personal life was falling apart. So when you get to that point, you just feel like a really burden, like you don't want anyone else to have to put up with you or to take care of you. When you physically can't take care of yourself, you feel like that's your only choice, and I just felt that way. I didn't know how to come out of it, and I thought I was damaging my kids more at the time and everyone around me because I needed so much care, and other family members were saying that I was making it up in my face, so it really hurt me. They didn't grasp that I was really sick inside, and the bone disease was so bad. I mean, it's still bad. I deal with headaches. There's days I can't lay on my face, but I'm just happy to be alive. I'm so blessed that Scott was willing to stay by my side and to take care of me, because I could have been in a nurse home technically. I was that bad. But I just want you guys to know mental health is serious, and when you see someone struggling, make sure they're okay. I didn't have that. Nobody knew how sick I was. I don't know how to explain it at the time that I was that bad, and I think I hid a lot because I didn't know what it was. I felt like I was going crazy at work. I couldn't tell people at my job how bad I was feeling, but I come to work crying too a lot, leave work crying. But I just want everyone to know, if you're feeling that bad, it actually can get better. I am so grateful that those EMTs worked as hard as they did. I mean, they couldn't even get me out of my car for I was already dead, you guys. By the time they broke my window and got me out of my car, because I had wrecked it. I totaled my car into a tree. And I know God had a lot to do with it too, because God has been with me, and it took me a lot to figure that out. But yeah, mental health is a serious disease, so don't, some people well, how could you do that to your family? How could you do that to anyone? I don't know. I just was at the time just in a really bad spot, and some people can't get out of it. And I'm just so grateful, you guys, that I had somebody watching over me, and I just feel like God sent me Scott. I have always felt that God sent me Scott. But anyways, I just want to let you guys know that it was bad, and to reach out, and if you see someone struggling, just be there for them. You know, that's all I needed. I just needed someone to believe in me. I needed someone to believe that I was really sick, and that's all I needed, someone to listen to me. And even after I'd done it and we moved to California, we had to leave the state because I was treated really badly by the medical professionals. They actually put me on probation. I was just threatened to go to a psych ward. So yeah, we had to leave the state. So that's a little bit of a backstory, but I just wanted to leave that in there. So yeah, my life is great now, you guys. We're in a great place. We still have our struggles, but I'm never going back to that. So just want to leave that out there. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. And Scott has literally stuck by my side ever since then. He knew I needed help. He didn't want to give up on me. At the time, I felt like there was family members that just didn't quite understand what I was dealing with, how bad my head was feeling. So Scott and I got together, and we're like, what are we going to do now? We're both on disability, so it's not like we have a big income, and we couldn't afford to rent in my hometown. So our only choice was to call up his sister and see if we can just borrow the trailer, right?
At first, yeah.
At first. Yeah, so we decided to pack up and leave Washington State so I can heal, and we were hoping to get some medical help for me. So we get to Oregon, we pick up the trailer, and we move into it.
That's where it all started.
In our 23 little foot trailer, and we head to California, you guys. And there's no YouTube videos of it. We did not know about YouTube. We didn't even know living in an RV was even a thing. So we head to California, to where Scott was from, and we thought we could afford to rent a house. So
Not even close.
The first month we were there, we actually made an appointment to go look at one. Our couch wouldn't even fit into it, you guys, and it was so tiny. And we're like, how much is it for rent? How much was it? Like, I don't know. It was over $1,000. Had to be. It was in California.
Yeah.
And
but then the power bill would have killed us.
Yeah, we found out the power bill could run up to $800. And we're like, oh my gosh, we won't be able to afford to eat, let alone pay any bills. So we had a rude awakening. We're like, wow, what are we going to do now?
So the first time we parked at my buddy's place, one of my buddy's places, out in the middle of an orchard.
Yeah.
And we were there for a while. I don't know.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was right on an almond
Orchard.
Right, almond orchard, yeah. Dusty, dirty, and at the time, we were just getting to know each other. I was getting so sick. Scott was having to take care of me full time, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. But then you had your foot surgery too in California. You had to have a foot surgery, you guys. So after we stay there, and then we end up moving off the orchard to your buddy's house.
To another friend's house.
Lee's house, yep.
And we stayed there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years.
2 years, yep.
Right on a dairy farm.
Yep.
Alfalfa fields, cows, cow poo-poo, everything.
The urine from the cows, and the flies. Oh my God, the thousands of flies living on the farm.
But it was free.
Yep. And then the train tracks that came by every day and all night. We got so used to living with the noise that nothing seemed to bother us. Except my phone's gonna die, so let me put it on charge. Yeah, you guys, so yeah, we got used to all kinds of noise there. And yeah, we looked at it as it was a free place to stay. I actually enjoyed Scott's friends, even though it wasn't the best area to live in. But we got to know each other more, and we were there, almost 3 years? 2 years, yeah. And we did try to go to San Francisco for the doctors. And they were fibrous dysplasia doctors, you guys, that I couldn't get them to listen to me. And we went to LA too. So I just wasn't getting anywhere in California for my bone disease. They just kept saying I was having headaches. So I was getting the point that I knew I needed to go home to Washington. And we ended up moving in with my parents' house at the time.
Wait, back up, you're skipping. We spent the whole other time on the farm with the goats in Chinchilla.
Oh yes, you guys. Okay, let's back up. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, back up. So then after we left Lee's house, you guys, and then we decided to take a job on a farm, and not me, but Scott. And it was only gonna be 30 minutes twice a day, and that's it. For a free place to stay.
Just feed the chickens, pick up the eggs, pick up a little bit of dog poop in the dog kennel, that was it.
Yes, and that way we could continue to try to see if we can get medical help, because we were still trying to figure out what we were going to do.
But it ended up being a lot more.
Yeah, oh my gosh, you guys. The owner wanted him to work pretty much just all day, and here and there. And then she was hiring people, and she wasn't checking their background. She ended up hiring a drug dealer that ended up puking everywhere. And then the rest of the staff ended up quitting. Scott was told to go clean up the puke. I'm like, you know what, we're out of here. She left to go take care of her other house and left all these dogs in kennels with no help. And we're like, nope. I'm like, Scott, we're going to pack up all of our stuff in our tray, in our rig, and we're leaving here. So we were only there 6 months or less.
This is at the time when I just had my foot surgery, so I was on a little scooter.
Yeah.
So she loaded up the trailer and everything by herself.
Yes, to get out of there. We did it really early in the morning when the husband was still there, but he never did anything. So he was always playing games and stuff and not even helping with the animals. So we're like, we're out of here, packed up, left, drove to Washington, moved into my parents' house. And then, you guys, we're still thinking we're never going to live in an RV, because we're like really happy to be back into a house. Me and Scott had our own bedroom there. We were paying rent. And when we arrived there, at that point I was sick. I couldn't do anything anymore. I couldn't even talk on the phone. And we couldn't figure out what kept setting it off, what was going on in my brain that was causing this vibration. And I couldn't stand when people would talk to me. Their voices were so loud, and I was just so nauseated. So long story short, I finally go to Seattle, and a surgeon there that works on the nose doctor and stuff said, you know what, I'll go in right here. see what's going on in your cheekbone and we'll shave it down, because it was a little bit bigger at the time. So after the surgery, he comes out and says the main nerve coming down your face got trapped inside of my cheekbone. He released it, and it took about a couple months recovery, and oh my God, you guys, the vibration and all that pain was gone. It's like I could finally think again. It was just crazy that one doctor is what basically saved my life, because at that point I couldn't even do laundry. I would just turn around and get vertigo. We couldn't get if I would get in the vehicle and if somebody made a quick turn or any kind of turn, I'd get vertigo. Yep, poor Scott. I couldn't even cook dinner. I couldn't do laundry. Oh, he was probably exhausted. So, and then we decided, what are we getting? Once I recovered, we're like, well, why are we just sitting still? And somehow we started watching YouTube. And I'm like, Scott, we should just remodel the little trailer at my parents' house and let's just move into that, because we just weren't happy. Things were just kind of hectic. Living with family is not a good idea. It's just not a good idea in a small house. And we're like, let's just fix this up and move in full time, and let's just travel and see what we can do. And that's when it became a choice. And so then we started watching YouTube and found other YouTubers that were actually living the life in RV. I'm like, it's a thing.
Shoot, we can do it.
We can do it. We've been doing it already in California, and we weren't even making videos or doing YouTube. So we started following Tom and Lori RV Life was one of our first YouTubers, and the RV Odd Couple that we started following, and other channels I don't remember, but I'm like, we can do this. And one of our first videos is at 1,000 Trails, and it's our story, and it was way too long. We talked too much in that video. But that's how we became on the road, you guys. That's where it all started. It wasn't a plan, and now it is a plan, and we actually really enjoy this lifestyle, and have learned a lot.
Wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, and living with each other 24/7. It's easy, not always easy.
Be like that one dog.
Yeah, not always easy,
Better
you
get back on the
guys.
road.
We've had our struggles, but we knew that our relationship was strong enough to get through anything after what I had already put Scott through in the very beginning. And I had to have someone to take care of me, you guys. I was so sick. So Scott literally has saved my life more than once. I can't even tell you how many times he has saved my life. But that's our story, and that's how we became
and we're sticking to it.
Yep, in an RV. And now we're in a fifth wheel. And we'd love to talk about living in a little trailer compared to a fifth wheel on another video. We'll do that, you guys. And but we thought we'd just share a little bit how it all started, how we ended up in an RV. A lot of people planned it out. We just realized we could not afford to rent. And we'd like, my kids live in Washington. I would love to be in Washington more, but it's not affordable for us to rent. There's no RV parks that we could afford even to rent. And there's some boondocking, so that's the only part about this part. It just sucks because I can't visit with my kids as much as I want, and the wintertime is way too cold to be in Washington. But we are going to travel Washington this year, so around the whole state this summer, you guys. That's our plans. We finally decided what we want to do, and that way I can see my kids a lot more too, plan some things with them. But
2025 is gonna look alive.
Yep. So how did you guys end up in an RV, or do you want to live in an RV full time? What do you guys honestly think of it? Are you gonna live in one? Do you live in an RV, and what type of RV do you have? I'm curious. How did it all start? And
Did you move in it on purpose, on accident, forced to do it?
Yeah. Okay, guys. That's our trip to Yuma.
Yuma bound.
Yep, we're still Yuma bound. It's a 2-hour drive, you guys, but Scott's prescription was at Walgreens, and they didn't have them there last week when we were in Yuma, so driving all the way back.
I gotta buy some stuff for the roof because I'm getting further and further on my rack for my solar panels.
Yes.
It's almost all the way built.
Yep.
I gotta refinish sealing the roof, and put that baby up.
Yep. Get that all done, you guys, and then the solar rack will go up, and he's still working on that, so stay tuned for the solar rack video, and when we get the solar installed. Because we want to be out of here by March, because we're going to go to Area 51 first, and then we're going to head up towards Utah. So, alrighty, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button, and so you can get notified.
Give us some thumbs up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys.
Thumbs down.
Yep. Those thumbs up really help our videos get out, and it really helps out. And leave a comment. And if you don't know what to say, just say hi. I'm here watching ya. Okay. We appreciate
Winning.
you guys. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Have a good day, guys.